Hello, everybody. This is your first lesson for the year, and we talked about it in class, but this is just to help you in case you didn't get it. Today, we're going to talk about place value first in this first video. And basically, value just means what is a number worth. That, for now anyway, is going to mean how many of something do we have. So let's go over to the screen here. And the first one, which we can call the ones, value, and under this 1 cube I can put the number 1 because I have 1 cube. Now you probably remember this from previous grades, but here is a line of 10 cubes. So the value for those are going to be 10. And over here, the flat one with all these cubes, we've got 10 down and 10 across, which is 10 times 10. So 10 times 10 gives us the place value of 100 and the value of 100 cubes. And then the last one over here, that as far as we're going to go today, is a box of cubes. And that box of cubes has 1,000 cubes in it. So this is what it would look like. Okay, so we have a value of 1 for 1 cube. We have a value of 10 for 10 cubes. We have a value of 100 for 100 cubes. And in this box of cubes, we have 1,000. Now, if we wanted to find out what the value of all of these were together, then all we have to do is put them together into the standard form. And in this case, I would start over on this side, and I would put 1,000, 111. So our total value for all these numbers is 1,111. Now I could change that value of that number, or each area, by simply adding more cubes. So if I come over here and add another box of cubes, then that changes to 2,000. And then if I wanted to change the hundreds column, let's say I go over here and I get 3. Then I change that to 300. And then I'm going to bring over, let's see, let's do 4 here. And so I have 10 columns of cubes, which is 10 times 4, which comes out to 40. And then over here, we have only 1, so let's put some over there so he doesn't feel so lonely. And so we'll give him, let's see, 5 friends to hang out with. 5. And 1 more. Okay, so we've got 6 there. So I count them up and I've got 6 cubes. So if I go back to the standardized numbers, we know that in the thousands I've got 2,000, in the hundreds I have 300, in the tens I have 40, and in the ones I have 6. So I would write the number like this: 2,346. So my total value for that number is 2,346, and these shows the values for the different areas. So if we have a number and we want to know what is a number worth, so let's say I do 678, and so that would show me how much it's worth, 678. If I wanted to know the value of the hundreds, so we have the hundreds here, that would be 600. Okay, let me change the color here to make it more clear. Okay, and so let me click out of here. All right, and the 7 is in the tens, so I would write that the value would be 70. And then finally, if I look at the last number, and I'll change that one as well. If I look at the ones and they ask me what's the value of that 8, then I would write 8. So if I wanted to see what was the value of each area or each place value, this is how I could break it up. All right, so let's go over here to the side and let's look at another example because sometimes they're going to ask you what are the 4's worth? And all you're going to answer is the place value that number is in. In other words, if I had a number 4,000, oops, that's pretty ugly there. Okay, so I'll redo it. And so if I have a number, let's change it again, and come back over here. And so we have 4,456. And so it's saying, what are the 4's worth? So that means we're only looking at these two numbers. So, based on what you've seen so far, you should see that the first 4 is worth 4,000. It's the number, and all the values change to 0 afterwards. And you should see the second one is 400, because it is, again, in the hundreds place value, and it has two spots after it that it changes to 0 so that we only see the value of that number. So the answer to that question is what are the 4's worth, or what is the value of the 4's, would be 4,000, and then the second one would be 400. And that is all there is to writing down the value.